Moving north, though, one person is still missing in Virginia after rescuers recovered a car that had been washed away but found no one inside. We know at this point at least 5 deaths are being blamed on flooding from Hurricane Michael in Virginia. Rising floodwaters caused at least 4 other people to drown. A firefighter was killed in a crash with a semi-truck. Roanoke College in Salem, Virginia saw flooding. However, college officials say the water there did recede overnight. Virginia's governor is asking everyone to please take the necessary precautions to stay safe. A little while ago, he told reporters about ongoing recovery efforts.
We still have flooding, downed trees, closed roads, and a lot of debris. As of this morning, VDOT crews were working to clear hazards on 1,200 Virginia roads, and 600 of those roads were closed.
Despite the death and destruction in their communities, folks in Virginia are still working to help others. Look at this swiftwater rescue from Danville, right near North Carolina. Emergency workers used rafts to get people to dry land. It brings tears to your eyes. Lee Vogler is the vice mayor of Danville, joining me via Skype. I think you're with me, aren't you? I think you're.
Yes.
I think we're both really. It's overwhelming, and I know you're feeling it yourself, dear. This is your community. You're the vice mayor of a community that really needs you right now. Talk to me about what the conditions are like there right now, Lee.
Well, Michaela, thank you for having me on. I first want to give my thoughts and prayers to all the loved ones of those who've lost their lives. We had here 2 in the city that unfortunately were lost due to the flooding from this. And yesterday was a very tough day for our city. This storm came fast and it came hard, and it was much worse than I think anybody anticipated. And so today we're trying to pick up the pieces.
Yeah, the difficulty of predicting the strength of these storms. We thought this storm was, you know, from the experts, sounded like it was going to be a tropical storm at worst, and look what it's unleashed. Talk to me about what your office and the other city officials are doing in Danville right now. I understand that you're trying what you can do to help locate people and connect people that have lost track of their folks.
Yeah, I mean, we're receiving a lot of phone calls. We're trying to get information out on social media through the various channels that we have. The mayor was out earlier, practically going door to door with the National Guard, checking on folks, bringing supplies where they needed. You know, it's a community effort going on today, too. I mean, I've seen neighbors out there helping one another, you know, as bad as yesterday was. And it's the worst storm that I've ever seen here in Danville. Yesterday was by far the worst I've ever witnessed. But today we're seeing just how great this community is. Neighbors out there helping one another. I'm extremely proud of our city. Every person out there just doing what they can to help one another. I think it speaks volumes to who we are as Danvillians.
Absolutely it does. You know, often we see in our worst of times, the best of us comes out, right? And I'm glad to see that is true there in Danville. Talk to me about the status of power. We've been hearing about widespread power outages, over 1 million people without power along the eastern seaboard, at least in the south for sure. Is the power on in some areas and not in others?
Yeah, at its peak yesterday, we had over 20,000 outages. We're a city of about 43,000, and I think at one point there was probably about 90% of the city that was in the dark, and a lot of which still today. We're getting that number down. I think the last I heard, we were down to about 8,000 or 9,000 that were still without power. I'm at my office right now, but my home, when I left just a little bit ago, we still don't have power at our house. Although I feel extremely fortunate. I mean, we had people who had trees literally fall right through their homes, extensive flooding. So I feel very blessed and fortunate, you know, that it wasn't worse than it was.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of damage in our city right now.
What is your #1 priority right now, Lee?
Just making sure that everyone's safe and taken care of. We're still checking in on folks because, you know, the rain has passed. It's actually outside today. It's a gorgeous day in Danville, which, again, we're thankful for. I couldn't imagine what the city would be like if it were still raining. But we're doing everything we can to make sure that we can get the power back on for folks, and that there's not anyone out there who's hurt or injured that we haven't been able to account for yet. But we've had a team effort unlike anything I've ever seen in the last 24 hours. It has been top notch from top to bottom, and we appreciate all the help that folks have been given.
I love hearing that about Danvillians. Lee Vogler, Vice Mayor of Danville, thank you for letting us check in on you folks, and we hope that you all rally together. We appreciate what we see happening there.
Thank you so much, Michaela.